Hello everyone, I am Niharika John Mehra, your trainer at Unacademy. So, we are doing a new course which is changing active into passive voice. Today, we are going to see the format of simple past tense. How to change a sentence from active to passive, or in case you want to change a sentence from passive to active, what will be the format we are supposed to follow. Before going ahead, a little bit about me. I am a mass communication graduate and currently doing post graduation in MA English Literature. Then I am an English trainer at an academy and also a freelance personality development trainer. For all my lessons and courses, you can follow me right here on this link. You can find all my courses over here. You can also click on the follow button, which is just below this video, and you will be able to access all my lessons which are on Unacademy. Let's start with the first type of sentence, which is affirmative sentence. Affirmative sentence means a general statement, a positive statement. So in affirmative sentence, active voice starts with the subject, the person or group of people who are doing that thing. Then second form of verb is used. As the name of tense suggests, it's a simple past tense. That is the reason second form of verb, which is past form of verb, is used in this structure of active voice. And then we put the object, which is basically the thing on which action is done. For example, Dave kicked the ball. So the person doing the action is Dave, who is mentioned at the starting of the sentence. Then we are talking about the action in past. So kicked is the past form of kick. And what is being kicked? That is the ball. Another example we have is they ate 5 apples. So it starts with they, who is a group of people who are as subject in this sentence. Then second form of eat, which is ate, and then 5 apples, that is the object over here. Now this is one of the very simple format, because in past tense we can use the same form of verb whether we are using it with a singular noun or with plural noun. Let's now see in passive voice how we can change it. So the object which is in active will come at first while making our sentence in passive voice. Then here we have option to use was or were. If the object over here is singular, then was will be used. If the object over here is in plural, then were will be used. Then third form of verb, which is past participle form of verb, will be used. After that, we will put the name of doer using by. So by plus the name of person or pronoun used for that person who has done that particular action, or if you have any particular name of the group, so you can mention it at the end of the sentence. For example, the ball was kicked by Dave. The ball, which was the object in active voice, comes over here in the starting of the sentence. Then the ball shows that it is singular noun, so we will use was. Then kicked, which is the third form of verb kick, past participle, and past form of kick is same, kicked. Then by whom it is done, doer is mentioned at the end of the sentence. Another example, 5 apples were eaten by them. Now 5 apples, the object over here in active becomes subject, takes the position of subject in passive voice. Because it is in plural, we are using were, and then third form of eat, which is eaten, is used, and by whom the work is done, by them. So in this manner we complete our sentence from active to passive. Now we need to be very sure and particular that we should know in which tense the sentence is in active voice. So for example, any sentence is given to you, you first need to diagnose that this sentence is in which tense, simple present tense, past perfect tense, so what exactly it is. Then only you can change the sentence from active to passive in respective tense. Coming on to negative sentences, that mean sentences which is talking about no or having word not in it, denying something. In active voice, the sentence will start with the subject, the one who is doing the action. Then did not will be used. Then first form of verb. Now please listen carefully because we are using did over here and I know it is past tense. Still, because of did, we are using first form of verb over here. We will not use second form of verb in simple past tense when we are making negative sentence. And then at last we have the object on which the work is not done. For example, Dave did not kick the ball. Dave is subject, did not is showing that this sentence is in simple past tense. Kick, first form of verb, and the ball on which action is not done. Then another example, they did not eat apples. They, it is the subject, did not, denial, negative sentence, did not also shows that the sentence is in simple past tense. Eat, first form of verb, and then object. What are they not eating? Apples. If we talk about now passive voice, it will start again with the object. So we know that object which is in active voice has to come at the first place when we talk about passive voice. Then was or were according to the object. If object is singular, then was. If object is plural, then were. Then not. Then third form, past participle form of verb. Then by, and then the name of the person who is doing it. For example, the ball was not kicked by Dave. So here, which was object becomes subject over here, takes the place of subject actually. Then was because it's singular, then not, then kicked, which is third form of verb, and then by Dave, who is doing the work. Then we see another example. Apples were not eaten by them. Apples, it was as object in active voice, will come here in starting of passive voice. It is in plural, that's why were is used, and then not, then third form eaten, which is the third form of verb eat, and then by them. Then we are talking about the doer. Now let's see interrogative sentences. So first category of interrogative sentence is when the answer is just in yes or no. In active voice, we will start with did, which will show that the sentence is in simple past tense. Then subject, the one who is doing the action. Then verb, first form again, and then object. Did is already there to tell that sentence is in past tense. So the verb form will be first when we are making any interrogative sentence. For example, did Dave kick the ball? So here did is the word starting the sentence, then the person who has done the work, then the action, then kick as verb, and then on what the action is done. Another example, did they eat apples daily? So again, sentence starts with did, goes to the subject, verb first form, and then the object. In passive voice, the sentence will start with was or were, which again will depend upon the number of object. If singular, then was. If plural, then were. Then third form of verb, which is past participle, and then by whom it was done. For example, was ball kicked by Dave? So ball is singular, hence we are starting with was, and then rest of the part remains same. Kicked is the third form of kick, and then the person who has done it. Another example, were apples eaten by them? So our object here was in plural. Hence we started with were, then object, then verb third form, and then about the doer. Then next we have another category of interrogative sentence which has a longer answer, more than yes or no. These kind of questions have detailed answer. In active voice, it will start with WH words. WH words are what, why, where, when, and how. Then did will be used, then subject, then verb first form, and then object. For example, why did Dave kick the ball? So here WH word is why. Then did, then the one who is doing it, then first form of verb, and then object. Then again we see when did they eat apples daily? So WH word over here is when, did, then they who are doing this work, then eat, that is the first form of verb, and then the object on which this work is done, and we are asking question about. Now in such kind of interrogative sentence, when we change from active to passive, this WH word remains same. We will not change it, and sentence will start with this WH word. So it will start with this WH word, then was or were according to the object, then object which was there in active will come first, or we can say will come before the verb, then third form of verb, and then by plus doer. For example, here in this sentence, it started with why. In interrogative, again the sentence will start with why. But then was or were will come. So ball here was the in singular noun. So was we have used over here, then ball, then kicked verb third form, and then by whom it is done. Another example, when were apples eaten by them? So when remain as it was in active voice. Then were, because apples is in plural, then we are writing about the object, then third form of verb, and then by whom it is done. Now at last we have sentences with no doer, in which the subject, the person who is doing the action, is missing. In active voice, it will start with who, followed by second form of verb, which is past form of a verb, and then we will talk about the object. For example, who kicked the ball? Who ate 5 apples daily? So we are talking about people. We want to know who has done this, who is the doer of this action. So because here we are not using did, that is why we are using verb in second form itself. In passive voice, the sentence will start with by whom, followed by was or were according to the number of object. Then the object over here will come first, then verb third form, and that is all. So example we have over here, by whom was the ball kicked? By whom were apples eaten? So in this manner we will frame our sentences where we don't have any doer, and we want to know, we are actually asking questions so that we can get the name of person or group of people who have done that action. This will be the format to be followed. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned for more lessons, and please do rate, recommend, share and review this lesson as well as this course.